Hello friends, welcome to NJCF. We are learning social science of 10th standard and we have started with the 4th chapter, that is Literary Heritage of India. Till this video we talked about literature and language as well as we talked about ancient Indian literature. In that we talked about development of Sanskrit language, development of Gujarati language, development of Dravidian language and many other languages. We have seen that how literature of these languages is rich. Now in this video, we are going to talk about medieval literature. First of all, can you tell me what is medieval period? We have seen this in previous videos. 6th century to 16th century is known as medieval period. So in this video and in next 2 videos, we will discuss about the literature of medieval era. During the beginning of medieval age in North India, the language of literature was Sanskrit. So the great works were composed during this period were in Sanskrit. In this age, 2 great works were written in Kashmir. First was Somdeva's Katha Sarit Sagar and second was Kalhan's Raj Tarangini. There are first historical books of India. Another famous work of this time is Geet Govind by Jaydeva, which is one of the finest poems in Sanskrit literature. As we have said before, this was the period when Apabhransh languages had started developing into modern Indian languages. One of the earliest works in an early form of Hindi was Prithviraj Raso by Chandbar Dai. The work that marks the beginning of Hindi literature deals with heroic deeds of Prithviraj Chauhan. Prithviraj Raso tells us about the life of Prithviraj II, king of Ajmer, and he was very brave. He bravely resisted the Muslim ruler. In this time, Sanskrit literature made great stride in South India. For some times, Jainism influenced Kannada literature. The poet Pampa composed Adi Puran and Vikramarjun Vijayant. The poet Ponna wrote Shanti Puran describing the life of 16th Jain Tirthankar. The poet Ranna composed 2 books, namely Ajit Nath Puran and Gadayudh. The poets, namely Pampa, Ponna and Ranna, are known as the trio of early Kannada literature. They are famous trio of Kannada literature. Poet Kambal composed Ramayana in Tamil language. Apart from this, other famous literary works were written in Tamil language. So you can understand that during medieval literature, Tamil language was flourished, as well as Hindi language was also developed. The development of Indian languages and composition got a promotion in Delhi Sultanate. So, can you tell me who was the first ruler of Delhi Sultanate? pause the video and think about that. Qutbuddin Aibak was the founder of Delhi Sultanate. During that era, development of Indian languages and composition got a promotion. Two forms of Delhi language, Khadi Boli and Braj Bhasha, began to be used for writing literature. Khadi Boli is spoken in rural areas like Meerut, Bijnor, Muzaffarnagar, Sahranpur, Ambala, Patiala, etc. Khadi means pure and Boli means dialect. So it is one form of Hindi language. Brij Bhasha was spoken by people in the region of Brajbhumi in northern India. Brajbhumi was a political state in the era of Mahabharata. So during medieval period, these two languages used for writing literature. Many devotional songs were composed in these languages. Many heroic poems and stories were composed in Rajasthani language, which is similar to Hindi and Gujarati. The heroic works like Alha, Udal and Vishaldev Raso were popular at that time. A book called Chandrayan written by Mulla Daud is the oldest book in Awadhi language. So you can see how different languages were flourished during medieval period. We started with Sanskrit language, then we talked about Tamil language, then we talked about Brij Bhasha and Khadi Boli, then we talked about Rajasthani language and now Awadhi language. So you can understand how different languages were developed during that time. However, the critical appreciation of the ancient book was still written in Sanskrit language. Despite of different languages, the critical appreciation of the ancient book was still written in Sanskrit language. So you can understand about the development of different languages. Now we will continue with this in the next video.